Let's all play What's My Line? And now let's meet this week's What's My Line panel. First, that talented young TV performer whose recording of Muckarty Park is a Motown favorite, Soupy Sales.
Thank you. Thank you, Johnny Olson. Right now, it gives me a great pleasure to introduce you to a beautiful young lady who is not only a brilliant actress, but she's a wonderful author. She is better known in our business as Joanna Barnes.
Thank you very much, Sue. And on my left, the handsome Mr. Hal Holbrook.
I want you to dig this now.
Lay it on us, Hal.
All right, Arlene is dressed in off-white and blue. It's my special pleasure to bring her to you, Miss Francis. How about that? Yeah, that was a poem.
Oh, that really touched me. Well, a great many people are moving into Washington these days, but one very nice fellow has moved out of Washington and into the here, and it's Wally Bruner.
I guess we really shouldn't say it was part of the changing of the guard, though, should we, Arlene? But welcome to What's My Line? Because during the next 30 minutes, you're going to meet some interesting people who are engaged in the most unusual occupations, and we hope will baffle this panel of experts. And in addition, the panel will face a mystery celebrity guest just a bit later on. But now, panel, are we ready?
Yes.
All right, let's meet our first challenger. Would you enter and sign in, please? Jay Green. Mr. Green, where are you from?
Brooklyn.
Very good. Panel, may I tell you that Jay Green deals in a service. And now let's show the audience just what his line is. Panel, may I remind you again that Mr. Green is self-employed. It's a service, and let's begin with Soupy Sales.
Mr. Green, this service that you provide, could I come to you for this service?
Yes, you can.
Would Joanna come to you for this service?
Yes, she may.
When you do this service, do you do it inside?
Yes.
Do you ever do it outside?
Sometimes.
Okay. Do you deal with human beings?
Yes.
If we're going to him, for Pete's
Well,
sake.
you haven't let me finish yet.
What am I,
Yeah.
chopped liver? You may not be a human being.
No conferences permitted.
That's right. Well, no. Well, I want to explain. I'll explain that to you. Does that? I mean, do you ever deal with anything other than humans?
No.
No, that's one down. Joanna Barnes.
Yeah,
You could have been a dog trainer.
No. Mr. Green, can you perform this service for more than one person at a time?
Yes, I can.
Do you wear anything different from what you have on now when you do it?
No.
Not particularly. So that's two down. We go to Hal Holbrook.
Do you go to the person's home to perform this service?
Sometimes.
Sometimes, and can
I
they,
would say on rare occasions.
on
we
rare
go to
occasions.
someone's.
But is it more ordinary for them to come to see you at your
That's correct.
place? Do you have a separate place of business out of which you operate?
Yes.
When someone goes to you, are they when you perform your service, does it help their appearance in any way or affect their appearance in any way?
No.
No, that's three down. Arlene.
Do you instruct or advise them in any way?
Yes, I do.
Would you say that they benefit from your instruction and advice?
Yes.
Do they learn something?
Yes, they do.
Would you be termed an instructor?
That's correct.
Is the instruction in something other than a physical activity?
No.
No, that's 4 down, Soupy Sales.
Then it is something physical. How I do it. When you are giving this instruction, do you ever touch the people?
I think that while there might be on rare occasions that he would touch someone, I don't think it's an essential part of the service he provides, so you got to know, and that's 5 down when we go to Joanna.
This physical thing that you do with these folks, Soupy and me included, is it anything in the realm of athletics or dancing?
Might be loosely termed someplace in that area.
Well, it can be anything, you know, from calisthenics to yoga.
You just eliminated 2 of them, didn't you, Joanna?
Pretty sneaky.
That's kind of sneaky.
Well, I just looked to see if a little look of recognition flashed across your face. Is it anything that is taught to music?
Sometimes.
But not essentially.
Is there rhythm involved?
Definitely, yes.
If I do it long enough, am I going to get tired?
Yes.
15 seconds.
I don't know. Stop pushing me. But it's not dancing per se, is that correct?
Correct.
All right, so it's something you teach people to do something. Is this a sport?
No.
No, that's 6 down. Does anyone have a guess?
Is it in the yoga family?
No.
Standing on the head or breathing?
Is it in the calisthenic family or weight reducing?
I'm going to
Juggling?
flip all the... Yes!
Yes!
He teaches juggling. But even though Arlene made the wild guess and hit Jay, we're going to flip all the cards and declare you the winner. But Jay Green owns and operates, I think, the only juggling school in New York City that is open to the general public. And who comes to you to learn juggling?
Ordinary people who want to take it up as a hobby, and people in the entertainment field.
How did you get into it, Jay?
I saw somebody juggling, and I taught myself over a period of 20 years.
And it was a hobby for you that has now become a profession in business. Is it hard to learn?
The average person could learn in an hour lesson.
In 1
Could
hour?
learn to juggle, yes.
Well, you know, I always like the part of a juggling act where 2 performers start throwing the Indian clubs, you know, back and forth at each other. Is it dangerous?
No, not really.
Why? Well, the clubs look so heavy. You
Well,
have a new twist on that
I've
act.
developed a club that is made of plastic, and it can't hurt anybody.
Plastic
Yes.
Indian clubs. Well, can you still juggle with something like that?
Yes.
What is the major talent or facility that a person has to have to learn to juggle?
I would say timing and rhythm.
I know a guy that used to juggle 12 knives, and then after a week of that, he juggled fingers.
But listen, you brought some Indian clubs with you, I know. Would you show us just a sample of juggling?
You have to.
Okay, thank you, Jay. Ready to try something. And you know that thing about the Indian clubs going back and forth? Soupy? Hal, come on up.
Hi, Mr. Green, how are you?
I think the 2 of you got over there someplace and we'll back up and get a little room here. And Jay, you just take over and show them how to do it.
What's going to happen?
Hold up your left hand like this.
Left hand?
Right, not like that, like that.
Like this.
Right. Okay. Just close your hand. Good, good.
I'd like to thank the Academy for making this award possible, and I'd like to thank my producer, Gil Fates. Oh, got to throw back?
You ready? Always wanted to throw something.
Next. Yeah, that's
Not too bad. Not too bad. But we have something else here to try, too.
They always do that.
Let's give up the Indian clubs for a moment. Jay, I don't know what these are going to be used for, but perhaps you can show us. Will I hold this? Very
Can you hold up your finger for a minute?
My finger?
Just like this. Don't move, man.
Ooh, that's good.
Oh,
You
look
remember
like-
me, the Statue of Liberty? Get my feet wet. Oh,
Now watch out, sir.
okay,
Keep your eye on the ball.
okay.
Now give me this finger. Hold up.
Dun, 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 dun.
It's the Ed Sullivan Show.
Keep your eye on it.
All right, Super, you ready?
Yeah. Thank you, Jay. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you, Jay. We enjoyed it. Hal, we'll be back to meet another challenger as What's My Line continues. Well, we're off to a pretty good start. Arlene, that was a wild guess at the very last split
Yeah.
second. But
That's
let's-
when I'm wildest.
That's when you're the wildest, at the split second. So. But let's go on and meet our next challenger. Would you enter and sign in, please? June Poplar. Miss Poplar, where are you from?
Kansas City, Missouri.
That's a very nice part of the country, isn't it? The
It is
Muehlebach
right now.
Hotel and Harry Truman's hometown is
Yes.
right nearby. Panel, may I tell you that June Poplar is in the insurance business. And now let's show the audience just what kind of insurance she sells. And may I remind you that Miss Poplar is salaried. It's a service we're after, and we'll begin with Hal Holbrook.
Do you insure humans or
Whoops.
like animals? No, I can't say that. Wait a minute. Do you insure human beings?
No.
That's one down. Arlene.
But that opened a nice bowl of gravy there. Do you insure animals?
Is that animals? Yes.
Uh-huh. Miss Poplar, I think, turned to you and said, those animals, is that something unusual in the animal kingdom that you insure?
No, I don't
No,
think so.
I don't think so. That's two down. And you're reading lips again, Arlene, and
Yes,
that's
I am.
very bad. Soupy.
Well, she insures animals. Well, how many, you got to find out what the animal is?
Yes.
I know a crocodile that didn't keep up his payments. They're the worst probably to be insured.
I know a mink who insured his coat.
I wish I'd have said that. I would.
I wish I had too.
Oh, wait. No, we got to find out the animal. Is it a four-legged animal?
No.
That's three down. Joanna Barnes.
Is it in the fish family?
No.
That's four down. Hal.
Does this, well then, I take it that this animal transports itself on land?
Yes.
Yes. Rather than in the air?
Yes.
Occasionally might be in the air.
Occasionally. In other words, this animal can also fly, has two legs, but it does not swim.
Does not swim.
Does not swim. Can you eat it?
Oh, yes.
Is it good tasting?
Yes.
Is it scarce enough or desirable enough so that there are certain seasons when you can kill it for eating
No.
purposes?
No, that's five down. Arlene.
Is it an animal that one might see in a farmer's yard?
Yes.
Is it an animal that is particularly enjoyed at Thanksgiving time?
Could be, I'd say.
Could be.
Oh, well then, if you say it could be, I can rule out a turkey. It's not a turkey that you insure.
That's right. It is not a turkey, right?
It is not a turkey. Do you insure a fowl of some sort?
Yes.
What's fowl besides a turkey and a chicken?
I think that's about
A chicken.
A chicken, that's it. It is a rather occupation, insurance for chickens, and Miss Popular handles insurance for the, is it Altman, Singleton and Company?
Yes.
Of Kansas City, specializing mostly in poultry insurance. And when a poultry breeder buys his, well, they buy
No.
day-old chicks. Tell us about it.
Yeah, but not diseases.
No.
No, mainly fire, windstorm, cyclone, tornado, rain,
Collision.
transportation perils.
Or if a chick runs away with something.
But it's a pretty big business, and I know most farmers are interested in it. But this does not cover disease, only
No,
a
not
casualty
disease.
loss then.
Yes.
Of sorts, of a fire, lightning, or heavy rain, or a flood, or something of that
Yes.
nature. Well, it's very interesting. You almost stumped the panel. I thought we had them for a moment, Miss Poplar, but thank you so much for joining us on What's My Line. We'll be back to meet another challenger as What's My Line continues. And now we've reached that very special part of What's My Line, the time we meet our mystery guest, panel of the blindfolds in place.
Hey, sure, Mr. Brenner.
All right, mystery challenger, would you enter and sign in, please? Panel, may I remind you it's one question at a time. I'll give you 2 minutes to try and establish the identity of our mystery guest, and let's begin with Arlene.
Thank you, Wally. Mystery guest, are you best known for your work in television?
Soupy Sales.
Are you a man?
That's a yes. Joanna Barnes.
I see. One of the Vienna choir boys. Do you have a regular series on television?
Hal.
Does your series come on in the evening hours rather than daytime? Oh, it's in between?
Sometimes daytime, sometimes nighttime. Arlene?
Well, can one judge from that it is a syndicated program?
Soupy.
Have I ever been on your show? I know who it is.
Joanna Barnes.
No, it isn't Joanna Barnes. It isn't Joanna Barnes.
Okay, Soupy.
It's Steve Allen.
It is.
That's it.
Hi, gang.
Hello there, fellas. What are you doing over there? Come on over here.
You ought to
with
feel
us.
at home here.
Yes, it feels very much like going back to the old school or something of that sort. Pretty much where I got started.
Local boy makes good.
Yeah, and I still haven't learned to stop hitting the microphone. All these years.
Great memories of you here, Steve.
Well, thank you, Wally.
Like bigger than a bread box, which was your phrase.
Yes, yeah, that's odd how that got into the national vernacular. I think my most ready recollection of the years I spent working on that panel over there, the very happy years, were one night, sitting next to Arlene, as was usually the case, when we had either identified or not the mystery guest, as the case may be. I think we had missed it, I forget. And I took off my mask, and I still didn't know who she was. And now I don't even remember it. So.
You know what? I tell you, we got
That
to.
happens once in a while, Steve.
We have to tell Steve that not too long ago we had a lady on, and her occupation was making bread boxes. And somebody said, "Is it bigger than a bread box?" And like, you know.
One interesting thing, Soupy, about the fact that that's become a kind of a little joke phrase is that when I first said that on the show, I had no intention whatever of being amusing. Remember Arlene trying to decide the size of an object, and it occurred to me it might be about that big, and the only object that came into my mind about that size was a bread box.
But you know they come in different sizes now, Steve?
Oh,
bread boxes?
shucks. I didn't realize.
They come in 2 loaf sizes, 4 loaf sizes, 6 loaf sizes. I'm serious.
You putting me on?
We got a lecture on it
We
the
had
day.
a lecture on it.
Johnny Olson gave us a lecture one day.
No, the gentleman who made the
gentleman.
bread boxes.
No, Johnny delivered the lecture.
He
though.
modeled
That's
the
right.
bread
He
box.
modeled the bread boxes.
But your show is doing well. You're going another year, I hear?
Yes, we're just starting on our second year, and it's great fun. It's basically the same thing I did on the old Tonight Show. This is the third time I've done this program. I'm going to keep doing it till I get it right.
But I tell you one thing: in the day and age of a lot of the sameness and mediocrity, it's great to have somebody like Steve Allen on, who is
Who is doing the
original
same
and
mediocrity.
great.
all of us have long been fans of yours. You're so versatile. I loved the piano.
Thank you, Wally.
The humor. And what is this thing you...
The clarinet?
No, the melodia. Or what,
The melodica.
Melodica,
Yes,
yeah.
I just did an album with that, as a matter of fact.
And I think we're all delighted to see the Steve Allen Show back on the air again. And I hope it continues for a long time.
Thank you so much.
And our best to Jane, because she was on the show a few weeks ago. Thank you. Now, panel, it's time for honest answers to questions submitted by our studio audience. The first one to Hal Holbrook from Randy Cannon, it looks like. Says, I'm the boy who met you in the street. I called you Mr. Holbrook. Would it have been all right if had I called you Hal?
Sure. Why not?
Okay.
Hi, Mr. Hal.
Jasupi, do you like children?
Yes, I do. I love them.
Your own?
My own. I have two of my own.
But you do love children.
Sure I do.
Okay, here's one from to Joanna. What was the name of the series you did with Peter Falk?
Trials of O'Brien.
Right. Arlene, what is your opinion of the micro mini dress, and would you wear one?
I would if I could, ma'am. I would if I could.
And Soupy, how many records did your album The Mouse sell?
Oh, I think it was close to 1 million. I know I've got about 800,000 of them at home myself.
Thank you, panel, for your honest answers. And that's it for today. Won't you join us tomorrow on What's My Line?
This is Johnny Olson speaking for What's My Line, a Mark Woodson, Bill Todman production. Let's all play What's My Line?
And let me tell you, Arlene, it is much better being here than in Saigon.
Oh, we'd much rather have you here.
Oh, welcome to What's My Line. During the next 30 minutes, you're going to meet some interesting people engaged in occupations which we hope will really baffle our panel. And in addition, the panel is going to face a mystery celebrity guest just a bit later on. But right now, panel, if you're all set, everyone ready?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Let's meet our first challenger. Will you come in and sign in, please? Estine Del Rio. Miss Del Rio, where are you from?
Chicago, Illinois.
Chicago, Illinois. Do you understand how to play the game?
Yes, I do.
Well, let's remind the panel and the audience, though, before we get started here today. Remember that for every no answer that Miss Del Rio is able to get from the panel, she wins $5. And if she gets 10 no answers, that means she's stumped the panel and won the game. So if you're all set to go and we all understand the rules of the game, why don't we let the audience know exactly what you do for a living? Okay, panel, I'd like to tell you that Miss Del Rio is self-employed and she deals in a product, and let's begin the questioning with Gene Rayburn.
Miss Del Rio, is what you do, does what you do belie your physical appearance? I don't know what I'm talking about. Can you figure out that?
I think we'll give you a yes. I think Miss Del Rio is a very, very attractive lady, and she certainly would enhance any occupation which she might choose to do. So we say yes.
You're in business for yourself, right?
Yes.
And would I come to you to have you do whatever you do?
Yes, you would.
And would it make me happy?
Yes, it would.
Mm-hmm.
You have many happy customers, I'm sure.
Would it cost me a great deal of money?
No.
No.
That's one down. We go to Arlene Francis.
You said you deal in a product, Miss Del Rio?
Yes.
Is the product edible or potable?
No.
No. 2 down and soupy sales.
Chicago. I saw a man dance with his wife in Chicago on State Street, that great street. Is this a product something that would help my home?
I don't think it really, in that sense, Soupy, is it something that would really... I don't know really what your problems are at home, but we're going to give you a no and say 3 down and go to Meredith McRae.
Does your product come in contact with the body in any way?
Yes.
With the body, yes.
Is your product other than clothing?
No.
No, not really in what... She may have other lines that deal with something other than...
Okay.
But no, so that's 4 down. We go to Gene Rayburn.
I gather from what you said, response to one of Meredith's questions, that maybe there are animals other than humans that use this product. I drew that conclusion. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes.
I am. Household pets would use this?
Yes.
Yes.
Members of the canine family?
Most definitely.
Yes.
And now let's see, it's a product. Is it edible by the canines?
Edible? That's 5 down, and we go to Arlene.
Would the canine wear this product?
Yes.
Yes.
Would the canine wear it in the region of the head or neck?
Sometimes.
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 Uh-huh.
Does it cover a certain area of the canine?
Yes.
Do you make canine raincoats or fur coats or dresses?
All of them.
I think that's close enough. We'll have to give it to Arlene. Miss Del Rio, would you like to tell them exactly what it is you do?
Yes, I design fashions for dogs.
She makes doggy clothes.
Do they wear mini skirts, your dogs?
Yes, and so do the women that own the dogs, and the gentlemen wear a lot of the shirts and other items that I design.
Panel, I'd like to tell you that Miss Del Rio sells to department stores, grooming shops, and individuals, and the clothes are made out of, everything, cloth and paper, and some of them are very inexpensive. They start from $298, and they may be priced as high as $500, depending on the fur coats that you might get.
That must be a mink coat, yes.
Yes. But you were able to get 5 no answers, which means that you've won $25. But I understand you've brought some models with you to demonstrate just exactly the type of clothes that you have.
What dog here wants to try them on?
What dog? So, Miss Del Rio, will you bring on the girls?
Yes. Shelley, would you please come forward?
Oh, look at that. Are they paper dresses?
Shelley and Gigi are wearing our psychedelic lame, which is worn as a full-length gown here, and which also can be worn as a mini. We'll show you how that works.
Whoops, as a mini.
As a mini.
Do you need any help? Because I have friends
Soupy,
here.
would you like to help?
Jane, you want to help her?
All right, listen, I'll
You'll do anything for your art, won't you, Gene? Well, help her.
All right, I'll pull. You better unhook him first. Go ahead, I won't look.
There we are, Shelley. There's Shelley in a street-length dress. Thank you, Joey.
Thank you so much. And what do we have here, Miss Del Rio?
This is Cielito, my little dog.
Cielito.
Cielito. Cielito and I are both wearing paper embossed fabric, which is disposable. Shelley's was cleanable.
That's magnificent. Well, thank you so much for being with us on What's My Line. We've enjoyed having you with us. Thank you so much, Miss Del Rio. And we'll meet our next challenger when What's My Line continues. If you'd like, we'll arrange a fitting for you right after this, so we can...
I just want to know who did the dog's hair.
Okay, panel, are we all set? Let's meet our next challenger, and will the next challenger come in and sign in, please? Bernice Guerra. Oh, Mrs. Guerra, where do you hail from?
Indiana, Pennsylvania.
Indiana, Pennsylvania. That's such a nice-sounding name for a city, don't you think? Indiana, Pennsylvania.
Yes.
Do you understand how to play the game?
Yes, I do.
Okay, let's let the audience know exactly what it is you do for a living. Panel, I'd like to tell you that Mrs. Guerra is self-employed and deals in the service. And let's begin the questioning with our West Virginia Flash Soupy Sales.
Bernice, is this a service that I might come to you for?
Perhaps, yes.
Is it a service that I would come to you rather than you come to me?
I would think so. In order for him
yes.
to... Yes.
Is it a service that would help me physically?
It might.
Is it a service that would, let's say, we get on my house, make my house a better house?
No.
No.
I think that's one down, Meredith McRae.
When you perform this service, do you wear any type of uniform?
Yes, I do.
You do. Is what you do instructive in any way?
I think we might give her a qualified yes and say there is a degree of instruction involved in what Mrs. Guerra does when she performs her service.
Do you work indoors more than outdoors?
Indoors more than outdoors?
Outdoors.
No. So that's two down, Gene Rayburn.
I gather the service you perform would be more utilitarian than aesthetic. Am I correct?
I would say generally so, yes.
Yes.
Does it have anything to do with food?
No.
No. Three down, Arlene.
Mrs. Guerra, can we rule out sports?
That's four down. And we go to Soupy Sales. No, you cannot rule out sports.
Oh, then it is. It could be sports.
Yes.
I know a lot of sports in Indiana, Pennsylvania. Let's see. Is this a sport? Let's say, is it a sport that you have to do with?
Yes, it's involved in sports.
It's involved in sports.
Don't help them too much.
Is it a sport that or involves both men and women?
No.
All right, we'll give you a no. Her particular service may not take in both men or women, but this does not really outlaw the fact that some people that do the job that Mrs. Guerra does so very well may also do the particular job for other than one or the other. So that's five down, and you understand that, Soupy, so you go on with the prayer. Just as long as I can clarify it, for you like that.
Yes. Do you, well, I'm going to just make a wild guess. Are you a girls' gym instructor?
No.
No. That's six down, and Gene Rayburn.
Well, the people who come to you are obviously benefited physically, right?
It's debatable.
Yes.
No, I don't think really we would say that there is a definite physical benefit, so we're going to give you a no, and that's seven down, Arlene.
Mrs. Guerra, is it a team sport that you're associated with?
Yes, it is.
Is it a sport that is indulged in by men a great deal?
Yes.
Yes.
Perhaps even more than women?
Yes.
Is your job one that is usually a man's job?
Yes.
Yes.
But you are not an instructor per se. You are not really teaching anybody anything, am I correct?
No.
That is correct.
Could you be anything like a lady umpire somewhere?
Panel, I'd like to tell you that Mrs. Guerra is indeed a lady umpire. And what sort of games do you umpire?
Oh, well, right now, semi-pro. I've been working with the police department in the ghetto areas and calling their games for them.
Marvelous work. Good for you.
You are, but this is actually your occupation. You're paid sometimes for this too, aren't you? I mean, you do this as a profession.
Yes, it is my profession now, and I am trying to get into the minor leagues.
Did you ever play baseball? How did you
Yes.
get into that? Oh, you did?
I could hit a baseball 350 feet.
Oh, she gives demonstration. Didn't you have a little contest with Roger Maris or someone?
Yes, many
a
of the
hitting
major
contest?
league players. I put these shows on around New York for hospitals and charities. And And now I'm going into umpiring, definitely.
Mrs. Guerra was explaining to me earlier before she came on the show that there are some rather interesting problems for a lady umpire in a baseball stadium. For example, dressing rooms. Is this a problem?
It's quite a problem because I had to dress outside in front of a car. They had no dressing rooms. And,
You'd be very good in the kitchen because you could dust off the plates.
And another little problem too, you know, normally the umpire stands behind the catcher. And, you know, but she has mostly been a base umpire, but I understand they are designing a chest protector for you.
yes, I hope we...
It's a little difficult for a lady umpire to use, you know, the regular
Tell
man's
us all
type.
about it, Wally. Why?
But anyway, you did get 7 no answers, which means you've won $35. And Mrs. Guerra, you have been delightful, and thank you so much for being with us on What's Mine.
Thank you very much.
And I want, one of the things that's a lot of fun, we asked Mrs. Guerra, you know, can you give us a demonstration of how you say, you know, what happens when you slide into home plate and don't make it? Show us.
What about this fella out at first base? You're out!
And we'll be right back with our mystery guest when What's My Line continues. Now it's mystery guest time on What's My Line. Panel, are the blindfolds in place?
Yes, yeah.
All right, so mystery guest, will you enter and sign in, please? All right, panel, as you know, with our mystery guest, it's one question at a time. I'm going to give you exactly 3 minutes to establish the identity of our mystery guest, and we'll start the questioning with Arlene Francis.
Does one find your name on the entertainment pages of the newspaper?
Yes.
Soupy Sales.
Are you more associated with television rather than, say, Broadway or the movies?
Yes.
Meredith.
Are you a comedian?
Yes.
Gene Rayburn.
Are you currently appearing on Broadway?
No.
When you do appear on television, do you appear in your own show?
No.
Soupy.
Is there just one of you?
Now, yes.
Yes.
Oh, I'm
Yes,
sorry.
there is just one.
Have you ever been associated with a team, with another person?
No.
No.
Can I take a guess?
Yes.
Are you Joan Rivers?
Yeah!
I was so worried. I was so scared you wouldn't guess it.
You were afraid they wouldn't?
Oh, are you kidding? I watch the show all the time.
Joan and I have worked a great deal together, and I have
Both
an unerring
professionally
ear for sounds of voices here.
But you're
She was
doing.
giving you all the sounds.
Yeah.
No, it was
You're
good
going to be
disguise,
doing
yeah.
something very exciting.
well, I
There
ha-
is a show of
yes,
your own.
but nobody knows about it yet. You know,
Well,
I
can
have
you
my
tell
own.
us?
Yeah, it's a little talk show. You know, where you talk, and hence the name. And we don't compete with you, so I can say it. That's all. The panel got so quiet.
Have you done those yet? Have you started tape?
Yes, we started tape in 2 weeks.
Are they going well?
Oh, terrifically. By the time you see this, my goodness, yes.
Oh, that's marvelous. You know, I used to watch you on The Tonight Show, and I know you still make appearances on The Tonight Show.
Whenever
was
they
this the
want
thing?
me.
Was this the thing that really helped?
Oh,
know,
yes,
really
The Tonight Show.
launch you?
I was in office temporary making $7 a week. And I went on The Tonight Show, and look what's happened. $10, $12.
What is this downstairs at the upstairs?
That's
or
my
upstairs
ex-employers.
Upstairs at the downstairs?
Yeah, I
or-
work there too. My husband likes to keep me busy.
And you have a new member in the family?
Yes, I have a baby now who's 7 months. And
Well, Joan, I've always wondered, do you write your own material? Or
yes,
do you?
yes, yes.
It all
Well, you know, as all comedians know, right, Soupy? It just comes.
That's
You
right.
know.
Does it? It's just
Oh, you're always
automatic.
funny. Automatic. No work. Right, Soupy? Just, ha ha ha.
You know, there are very few funny women.
You're
in this
telling me
business,
we're going to keep it
and
that way.
There is one of the funniest. Really.
Don't start.
No, I love her. She's just
I
beautiful.
love you. Show them your Mickey Mouse. Here's a Mickey
Yeah, I
Mouse
got a
watch.
Mickey Mouse.
Oh, your Mickey Mouse watch.
Yeah, it's sort of, I got to give him some more cheese. It's sort of slow.
Oh, but John, you were marvelous. I'm
Thank you.
sorry we didn't stump them a little bit
Oh,
longer,
I'm so glad.
but dear, you know, you just can't hide your talent. I'm sorry. It's just, you know, it goes out like that, and Gene, of course, had to guess you.
Thank
But
you.
thank you
Thank
so
you
much
so
for
much
being
for
with
having
us,
me.
and good luck on your show. Soupy, you struck out today. You didn't guess either one.
I got a
any
perfect
of the
record
three.
going, Wally. I haven't guessed anything in 2 days.
But listen, I wanted to find out. You know, you're famous for that great pie throwing tech. Well, how did you get into pie throwing?
Well, I started I started throwing pies in 1950 in Cleveland. That was the first chance I had to
You
throw
worked at a
them.
bakery or something?
No. Well, the fact is, we used to, in those days, they didn't have shaving cream or whipped cream bombs. You had to get eggs and whip them up, you know.
Oh, you really used...
Yeah, or else you'd get a pint of cream and whip it up and the whole thing. And we had one director that gained about 25 pounds because he wouldn't let go. He'd always eat this stuff, you know. And,
Well, who have you exchanged pies with? A lot of famous people, I know.
Oh, I guess the most famous was Frank Sinatra and Burt Lancaster and Tony Curtis and, Shirley MacLaine, Jimmy Durante, a lot of people.
And you're from West Virginia. You just attended your high school reunion, right?
Yeah, I just went back to 25th year.
Oh,
high
great.
school
Well,
reunion.
panel, I think you did very well today. I really do. You guessed every one that we had. And such talented members across the room. I'm telling you, I'm so impressed with each and every one of you.
Well, when they come in, have them sit down.
You know, they're all here. And Meredith,
Thank
your
you,
questions
Wally.
were so good. And Gene, I thought that was very humorous. You looked as if you had maybe done that before.
Yes, I know my way around that.
Okay, but you did such a good job. I want to invite you all to come back tomorrow. So, ladies and gentlemen, you join us too again every weekday for What's My Line?
What's My Line is a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production. With Francis Gowns by Bonwit Teller. This is Johnny Olson speaking. Let's all play What's My Line? And now, let's meet this week's What's My Line panel. First, a comedian who has appeared in movies, on stage, on television, and supper clubs throughout the nation, Soupy Sale.
Thank you. There are a lot of famous show business families. The Booths, the Barrymores, the Redgraves, and the Fondas. And here's the most beautiful of the new group. This is Meredith McRae.
Thank you. Our next panelist not only has his own daytime television show, Match Game, but he also has a great-looking tie on today. Gene Rayburn.
You're very receptive. Thank you. Now it's my pleasure to present to you a most chic, attractive lady, someone well known to you, Miss Arlene Francis.
You know, the old What's My Line panel used to think how lucky we were to have a man of such wisdom as John Daly hold us together. Well, the new What's My Line is very lucky, too, because we have a man of grace and perception in the form of Wally Bruner.
And thank you, Arlene.
Oh, you're
Gee,
very
what a
welcome.
good-looking panel we have. And welcome, everyone, to What's My Line. You know, during the next 30 minutes, you're going to meet some interesting people engaged in occupations which we hope will baffle our panel. And then later on, the panel is going to face a mystery celebrity guest, and we hope that the mystery celebrity guest will stump them, too. So that's the lineup that we have for you, and I'm sure you're going to have a good time. So, panel, are you all set and all ready?
Ready.
Okay, let's meet the first challenger. Will you come in and sign in, please?
I'm in love already.
Miss X. Panel, we're going to refer to this young lady as Miss X because we're afraid if we gave you her name, it might also give away her occupation. So we certainly wouldn't want to do that. Do you know how to play the game, Miss X?
Yes, I do.
Well, let's refresh the memory of the audience and our studio audience as well. Remember, for every no answer that Miss X is able to give the panel, she earns $5, and 10 no answers means she stumped the panel and won the game. And now I'd like to tell the panel just exactly what Miss X does to a certain extent. She's self-employed and deals in a service, and we're going to begin the questioning with Gene Rayburn.
Don't you want to tell the audience?
Yeah, let's tell the audience at home what she does.
Oh, that's an excellent suggestion. Let's let everyone in the audience know exactly what her occupation is. There we go. Now we're all set, Gene.
Okay, now
Take it away.
You are self-employed. Is it a physical activity that you're engaged in?
Yes.
And do you wear a certain costume or uniform?
Yes.
Is it in the general field of entertainment?
Yes.
Yes.
Is it something that might go on here in New York?
Yes.
Could I do it with you?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Would you like to meet me after the show?
Yes.
Would I? I'll just give her the $50 and let's get out of here.
Flip all the cards.
Would it be a pleasurable experience?
Yes.
You do your show, sir, and I'll do mine. Would it be remunerative for you?
Yes, I would think you.
What does remunerative mean?
I mean, I think that there is some compensation to you for performing her particular service. So yes, it would be of profit to our young lady. When
Would it change my physical appearance in any way?
It could.
I think, though, generally speaking, it probably really, him partaking of the service that you dispense of would not really change his physical appearance. So let's give him a no on that, and you're one ahead and go on to Arlene.
Is it a good idea to have music playing when you're doing this with Gene?
Yes.
You bet.
Does dancing come into it in any way?
Yes.
Yes.
Are you a go-go dancer of some kind, or a belly dancer, or no?
Yes.
A belly dancer. Oh. Let me tell you, and Miss X is not just any regular belly dancer. Miss X is probably the best known, foremost belly dancer anywhere. This is Little Egypt. But to go even one step further, it is not just Little Egypt, but she is the granddaughter?
The great-granddaughter.
The great-granddaughter of the original Little Egypt, who performed at the Chicago World's Fair in 1893.
Right.
How about that?
Listen, you can dance on my belly anytime.
Well, you've been performing
Isn't that what they do?
a long time. How long?
Oh, yes. Well, I've been performing since I was 5 years old, but in the American nightclubs, I'd say about 6.5 years.
Does this pay very well?
Extremely, for me, yes.
Questions?
Yes, are we going to have a little...
Later in the show, we're going to have a complete demonstration. Little Egypt is going to come back and give us a really good example of what a belly dancer does today.
Right.
Little Egypt, you're marvelous. I'm sorry. I think we should just flip all the cards for her.
Sure.
It's good, some Todman's money, and, you know... So we're going to give you $50, and thank you so much for being with us on What's My Line. Very well done, panel. Very well
She went
done.
out the wrong way. Should I go get her?
She'll be back. I promise you, Gene, she'll be back. You have not seen the last of Little Egypt. And we're going to meet our next challenger in just a moment. Okay, panel, if we're all set, and you did marvelously well on the first challenger today. Now, will the next challenger please enter and sign in? The Reverend Dale Lind. Well, panel, as you can tell, our challenger is actually the Reverend Dale Lind. He is an ordained minister, until just recently was the assistant pastor of St. Peter's Lutheran Church in New York. And you're now working on a master's degree, I believe.
That's correct.
And that's at the New York Theological Seminary. But he's engaged in an occupation while he's attending school that we think it might be a bit interesting for you to try to ferret out. You do know how to play the game?
Yes,
right,
I
Pastor?
do.
Okay, so let's let everyone in the audience know exactly what you do for a living. Panel, I'll tell you that Pastor Len is salaried and deals in a service, and we'll begin with Arlene.
How do you do, Reverend Lynn? Has anyone ever called you a swinging minister?
Yes.
There are many people of the cloth that are very interested in music, new music. Are you?
Yes, I am.
But I do believe whether he may have an interest in new music, I think that would lead you up the wrong path because...
But I just was socializing with him.
Oh.
Can't blame a girl for that.
All right. One socializing question, but Arlene...
Yes, I really should let it go because my mind was on music, and obviously what you do has nothing to do with music. Is that correct?
Yes.
So I'll pass it on, as long as that was really what I was thinking of.
That was really what you're thinking. Okay, so we're going to give you the one down and go on to Soupy. Soupy? Because really, I should have given you a no, Arlene.
You guys are the guys that originated turtlenecks. Wouldn't it be funny if that's what he did? He made turtlenecks. Well, then it's something that you do is concerned with entertainment.
Entertainment?
No.
No. So that's two down. We go to Meredith McRae.
Does what you do involve teaching in any way? Do you teach something?
No.
No. Three down. Gene Rayburn.
Is this a full-time job?
Yes.
And are people's lives benefited by it in any way?
Perhaps.
Yes.
Yes. All sexes involved in this?
Yes.
Families?
I would think we're going to have to give you a no. No, not families, Gene. So that's four down, and we go to Arlene.
Do you move around from place to place in your job?
No.
No. Five down, Soupy Sales.
If I had this, is it something that I might come to you?
Yes.
Yes.
If I came to you with this problem, would I have a problem?
Perhaps.
Possibly, yes. Possibly.
Yeah, perhaps. You might, but I don't really know that if, you know. But well, go ahead.
I mean, by the service that you deal in, Reverend, is it something that, say, if I came to you over a period of time, it might change my outlook and...
Very well could.
You think it really? Yeah. Oh, I think, though, in the nature of the questioning, we're almost going to... He really wouldn't change his physical appearance, so I don't think
not
as a result...
physical. I mean the way that I felt toward this particular problem if I had it.
Yes, it might well affect the way you felt, so I will let you continue.
when a person finishes coming to you, are they liable not to bother with a particular, say, vice that they had been involved in before?
Does he give advice to the
No,
people? That...
a certain vice, which takes in gambling or drinking and wild, wild women.
There may be, yes, there may be a certain vice connected with what he does.
Oh, yeah? Oh, I'm getting hot. Let's see. And these lights are helping. Is it something that, say, do you deal, say, with alcoholics?
Sometimes?
Sometimes.
Oh. He deals with alcoholics sometimes. I deal with it quite a bit myself. I'd pass.
Okay,
All right.
Meredith.
Are you at all involved in any form of gambling or card playing?
No.
No. 6 down, Gene Rayburn.
Do you work with young people, teenagers?
Alcoholic teenagers?
No. 7 down, and Arlene.
Does psychology have anything to do with your job, Reverend Lynn?
Not in the sense I think Arlene is directed. As psychology may well have something to do with just about any endeavor in which you would care to partake, I don't think in this particular field it would have anything more to do with it than anything else, so we'll say no.
Thank you, John
8
Daly.
down, and we'll go to Soupy Sales.
Well, do you have anything to do with Alcoholics Anonymous?
No.
No. 9 down.
When you perform your service, do you touch the person in any way? Do you come in contact physically with the person?
No.
No. That's 10 down. Panel, our contestant has won the game, and I want the pastor to tell you exactly what he does. Would you please?
Yes, I'm a bartender at Miss Lacey's Supper Club.
I want you to know that Pastor Lynn works at Miss Lacey's here in New York as a bartender. He's been there the past 7 months. You're a graduate of the International Bartending School here in New York City,
Yes.
isn't that right?
I hope it's a milk bar.
No, it's a regular bartender. And
What do you wear?
I wear a
Bartender?
regular suit, has a jacket.
You don't wear the
well.
collar, of course.
No, I do not.
do you? How does your congregation? I mean, how do they look upon this? Are they rather broad-minded and liberal about their pastor?
Yes, well, I'm not technically serving a particular congregation at this moment. I preach in various congregations on Sundays who do not have a pastor, or the pastor may be sick or on vacation, but I have classes at the New York Seminary and support myself by attending bar and feel that this is a way of relating to people and a good form of community.
Relationship you can have, straightening them out at the bar.
I imagine you meet quite a few people at work that you wouldn't ordinarily meet at work.
That's true, and they're very beautiful people, and I enjoy it very much.
Well, Reverend Lynn, you've won $50, and it's been a lot of fun having you on What's My Line. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we'll be back to meet our mystery guest as What's My Line continues. It's now mystery guest time on What's My Line, and panel, are the blindfolds in place?
Right now, yes.
Okay, so mystery challenger, would you come in and sign in, please? Okay, panel, now as you know, it's one question at a time, and I'm going to give you exactly 3 minutes to establish the identity of our very famous mystery guest. And let's begin the questioning with Meredith McRae.
Are you in the entertainment business?
Boy, yes.
That's a yes. Gene.
Are you an actor? Boy.
Yes.
Are you also a singer?
Boy.
Yes. Soupy.
Are you currently like starring, say, on your own television show?
No.
Are you my father?
Yes! How did she guess that? Oh, God. You little... How about that?
I have to say, Wally, I have to say how I guessed that. My dad, when I was little, used to always be doing those Donald Duck things. And now Daddy has a new little baby. I have a new little sister named Amanda, and he's always doing that with her. And I was over there the other day with him, and that's what made me think about it.
Well, that's why I picked it, because I didn't think I knew you'd recognize my voice.
I know I would. That's great, though.
Well, I'll be doggone.
I can tell that you're the only person in the world that could do Donald Duck that way.
No, Richie Little can do it.
Amanda's now, what, 2 months old?
Amanda's 2 months old. And how are you, Wally? I've been watching
fine.
the show, and you're very fine on the show.
Oh, thank you. And we enjoy Meredith so much, too.
I wish
must
you
be
a lot
very
of
proud
success.
her.
I'm very proud of Meredith, naturally. All my children.
Well, you have another daughter in show business, Heather.
Yes, little Heather's in some kind of show business. I don't know. She just made a picture. I don't know the name of it. A real off Broadway picture. And she was on a show here in New York, very briefly, called Here's Where I Belong. But she also has talent like Meredith does.
What kind of advice do you give your daughters, Gordon? Here they're launching careers, and Meredith is
What advice do you have for this girl right now? What would you tell her to do?
Well, Wally, we never gave them advice. You know, I always tell a cute story on Meredith. When she first got into television on My Three Sons, Don Feddersen, the producer, and I were playing golf about 6 weeks after Meredith had started taping the show. And he said, Gordon McRae, do you have a daughter named Meredith McRae? I said, yes, I do. He said, well, she's on my show. I said, yes, I know. And he said, she never told me that you were her father. So they did it on their own.
They did it on their own.
You know, I don't believe parents should tell children what to do, like if you're a lawyer or a doctor. They don't necessarily have to be doctors. Or actors. Children shouldn't necessarily have to be actors or actresses. So we let them sort of go out on their own.
Well,
didn't we, dear?
Yes, I think that neither my mother or my dad encouraged me to go into show business at all. They would much have preferred me to be an English teacher or something.
No.
But now you're glad I'm in it.
Well, let me tell you this, Gordon. I think you're very, very lucky to have a daughter like Meredith. But also, I think Meredith is very lucky to have a father like you.
Well, thank you very much,
Gordon
Wally.
McRae, thank you so much for being with us on What's My...
All right.
I have just learned something very interesting. We now have a yachtsman among our panelists, Gene Rayburn.
Yeah, I'm a sailor. I lived in a suburb of New York for a long time where they had yacht races and all kinds of sailboat races, and I lived near Long Island Sound, never got interested in sailing because it always seemed dull to me. And then 3 or 4 years ago, I bought a house up in Cape Cod and bought a little 13-foot fiberglass catamaran, and I am now the most devoted sailor because it's so much fun. It really is. You know, I finally understand the challenge of man against the winds and nature and all that. And
yeah, Gene was in a yacht race the other day. He chased this girl around the deck for about 3 hours.
Well, you also flew your own plane. Do you
yeah, I
do
had
that?
an airplane at one time. That's a lot of fun, too, but there really aren't enough flying days in the eastern part of the country to continue that as a hobby, so I dropped that.
Well, Gene, we feel very, very fortunate in having you as among our panel this week on What's My Line. You've done a remarkable job. Thank you so much for
Thank you, Wally. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right, now it's time to make good on a promise.
Yeah.
And here is Little Egypt, our belly dancer. Little Egypt.
Yeah, go.
Let's all play What's My Line? And now, let's meet this week's What's My Line panel. First, that ingenious inventor of the mouse dance, Soupy Sales.
Thank you. Right now, it's my pleasure to introduce to you a young lady who is well known for her appearances in Petticoat Junction, but she'd be at home in any kind of clothesline, Miss Meredith McCrae.
Our next guest is an amateur yachtsman, an amateur pilot, but definitely a professional actor and host, Mr. Gene Rayburn.
Now, let's meet the superb game player of all time and one of the beautiful people of the world, Miss Arlene Francis.
And now a gentleman who has owned and built his own radio stations, and the way he's going, I think he'll own and build his own television studios. But in the meantime, we're fortunate to have Wally Bruner.
You'll have everyone thinking I'm my own tycoon, Arlene, but you say such pleasant, kind words. Let me say welcome to What's My Line. During the next 30 minutes, you're going to meet some interesting people engaged in occupations which we hope will baffle our panel. And then, just a little bit later on, and in addition to that, the panel is going to face a mystery celebrity guest, and we hope that the mystery celebrity guest can baffle them as well. So, you all set?
Yes.
Yes.
Go.
Ready to go? So, will our first challenger come in and sign in, please? Debbie Kath. This is Debbie Kath, and where are you from?
I'm from Roseville, Minnesota.
Roseville, Minnesota. Do you understand how to play the game?
I sure do.
Well, let's refresh our audience just a bit. Remember, for every no answer that she's able to give our panel, she wins $5. And if she's able to come up with 10 no answers during our game, that means she stumped the panel and she wins $50. And now we're all set to go, and let's let the audience at home and the audience here in the studio know exactly what you do for a living. Panel, I'd like to tell you that Miss Kath deals in a service and is self-employed, and we'll begin the questioning with Soupy Sales.
Miss Kath, is it a service that I might come to you for?
Yes?
Yes.
Is it a service that in some way or manner that you might touch me?
Yes?
Small conference.
That's large enough.
Time.
I think we're going to give you a no on that, Soupy, and go on. She would not touch you in order for her to perform her service, so we'll go to Meredith McRae.
In the service that you perform, do you instruct people in any way?
No.
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 No. So that's 2 down. We'll go to Gene Rayburn.
Is this a practical service?
Yes.
And is it in the cultural field?
No.
3 down, and Arlene.
Is your service for human beings?
Yes.
And could they ever come to you more than one at a time?
Yes.
Do you work indoors?
No.
No. 4 down, and Soupy Sales.
Do you instruct any type of? I mean, is it deal
I
with?
asked that.
You did?
Yeah,
I knew I heard it someplace.
She doesn't instruct.
She doesn't.
No.
But they could come to her in a group.
Outdoors.
Outdoors. Is this? And it has nothing to do with sports.
You asking that question?
Oh, nobody asked that?
Nobody asked that question.
Does it have to do with a sport?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know. And it comes in a group. Is it unusual that you would have something to do with the instruction of this sport as, say, compared to a man?
Yes.
Yes.
I will have to say yes.
It is something which you might not expect such a charming young lady as
Yeah.
Miss Cass.
Now, is this a sport that's let's assume you are connected with a sport as an instructor. All right?
She's not an instructor.
Yes.
Well, sort of, yes. In this, yes.
Is this a sport that is a national sport? When I say it's a seasonal, like it's like football or baseball or.
Is it football or baseball? 5 down, and we go to Meredith McRae. No, it is not football nor baseball.
All right, is the sport with which you're connected, is it a team sport?
No.
No, so
No.
we'll go 6 down on Gene Rayburn.
Miss Cass, do you put the shot?
No.
No.
That's 7 down, and we go to Arlene. You mean like in a track meet, put
One
the
of
shot?
those?
Yeah.
No. When you are involved in this sport, Miss Kath, are bulls involved in it in some way?
Not at
No.
all.
8 down, back to Soupy. This is a tough one, Pat.
Yeah, well, it certainly is, because I haven't gotten it yet. Is this a sport that would any animals be involved in this sport?
Animals? No. 9 down, and Meredith.
In this sport, do you hold something in your hands or move something about with your hands?
Yes.
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 Are you involved in any way with chess or bridge?
No.
10 down, panel. Our guest has stumped you. You've lost the game. And would you tell them what you
She's a
lose?
javelin thrower.
I am the youngest female hot air balloonist in the world.
The hotter what?
Balloonist.
Hot air balloonist. Hot air balloonist.
You know, like around the world in 80 days, the balloon bit.
Oh, that's great.
But Miss Cath tells me that she also instructs people on how to become balloonists, but I leaned more toward giving you a no because basically her job is not instruction. What she is most interested in doing is, you explain to us.
Well, it's more or less advertising and making people come out and see the balloon and giving them more or less a show type of thing. But I do instruct. I do have my commercial pilot's license.
How long can you stay up?
It's usually around an hour for my gas holds out.
How do you heat the air?
I have a tank, and then I have a burner that's from propane gas, and turn the heat on, and up I go. And if I want to come down a little bit, I'll turn the gas down, and down I come.
How did you become interested in this?
In 8th grade, I did a research paper on stratospheric research, and it started way back then. So
And let me tell you, too, that Miss Cath is only 19 years of age.
Oh.
She is the youngest licensed balloonist. She was also Miss Roseville of 1968 in her hometown, and I am sure you'll agree with me that she certainly deserved that title. But more interestingly, her first airplane ride was flying from her hometown to New York to do What's My Line. But you have won $50 from Stumped the panel and Miss Cath. Thank you for being with us on What's My Line. Challenger, enter and sign in, please. Eddie?
Can't spell his own name.
Pulaski. Panel, this is Eddie Pulaski. Eddie, our panel. Where are you from?
I'm from Fun City, New York.
Fun City, New York, USA.
USA, absolutely.
Do you know how to play the game?
I believe I do.
All right, so let's show the audience exactly what it is that Eddie Pulaski does for a living. Panel, I want to tell you that Mr. Pulaski is self-employed and deals in a product, and let's begin with Arlene.
Mr. Pulaski, is it a useful product?
It is a useful product, yes.
Is it a product that one would find in the home?
No.
No. One down, and we'll go to Soupy.
I've lived in some strange places.
Well, there have been some, but I think, generally speaking, you would think this is not a product that normally would be found in the sense in the home. Soupy?
Is it a product that a man would use rather than a woman?
Yes.
Is it a product, if I wore it, I would look different?
Yes.
Yes.
Is it something that I would wear to improve my appearance from the waist up?
Yes.
Yes.
Is it a product that you have anything to do with beards?
Yes, I do.
Do you sell fake beards?
Yes, I do, Soupy.
Soupy, you're so brilliant and
He's
bright.
been wanting to get one all week.
All
He's
week.
So happy.
You've been dying to get a false beard all week.
False
I
beard,
think we are going to fix you up very, very shortly. But I want to tell you that Mr. Pulaski has been in this mustache and beard business for about a year, and you've had a bit of experience. What is your...
Well, it's been very exciting to the standpoint that many young men come into my place to buy
That can't grow their own, perhaps?
That's correct, yes. And many of them also buy beards and mustaches. Those that work in banks or certain institutions that don't permit beards and mustaches. After they're finished work, they go to the men's room and they put on their false mustache and beard. And
is that a real one you're wearing, Mr. Pulaski?
Show us. I was just gonna
I'll show you in just one moment.
Oh, okay.
But Eddie has been in the barbering business here in New York for 30 years as well, and we were a bit concerned about both Gene and Soupy, afraid that one or the other of you may have been in his shop.
I was going to disqualify myself because he's cut my hair in the past.
Oh, you recognize
Yes,
Eddie?
yes.
Okay, well, how about it? Can you give us some demonstrations? How about a mustache? Do you
First of all, what I'd like to, I'm just going to put a businessman's type of a mustache on you.
Oh, I liked Wally the way he was.
Oh, Wally, well, let's just.
Oh, look at that. Isn't that something?
Oh, that's it, Wally.
He's a businessman.
That's it.
This is just a temporary adhesion I'm putting on.
Thank goodness. There we go. I need a
Feel
pipe.
differently?
It's a bit difficult to breathe. All right, how about the others now? I can't be the only one, Eddie, that has
All right, well,
of this. So let's see if you can't fix up the panel just a little bit too.
You don't mind skipping me, do you?
Just excuse me a moment. Now I'm going to take my falsies off.
Oh, see there?
Look at that. Isn't that something?
Very good.
Great.
Now I'm going to go one further step.
It's going to take off his face.
May I?
You've nailed it on.
No, just pull it off. Go ahead.
Oh, it's in his own hair. You put that.
I also manufacture hair pieces. For me. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Do you feel nude?
Well,
without it?
Not you women, you know, when you, well, I shan't use that expression. Now, Soupy, since you were the first one to guess, I've got an idea of something here for you. Sort of a diabolical look, but...
oh, that's perfect. Soupy and a beard.
Let me just put some adhesion on here.
All right.
Soupy, I think you're going to look more.
See there, that's, I might get every dance now.
Sorry, my card is full.
Well, you finally got a soup strainer anyway.
Yeah, that's...
You look like Sigmund Freud.
I look like a sloppy chocolate milk drinker. I look like I swallowed a dog up to the tail.
You really want to go through with this soup, then?
You might remember me. I worked under the name of Mitch Miller.
You also have your own cough drop.
Welcome back to college, Soupy.
Huh?
Welcome back to college.
Very good.
A little off the side, Eddie, and cut the gab.
Now,
Lincoln.
maybe a mustache for Gene, Eddie.
I've never been able to grow a mustache. I do not have a hirsute face.
I heard somebody say, let's strike Gene.
Let's strike Gene.
I'm even having trouble growing sideburns. Hair won't grow on my face.
Moss
What do you got, Eddie?
doesn't grow on a
What do I
busy
got?
street.
Well, I
Do
don't
you
think
need
this
your
is going to
adhesive?
work for you.
Just quickly so we can... Oh, that's beautiful.
Need your adhesive.
A little wax and we've been good shape. Eddie Pulaski, thank you so much. And with a mustache and the beard, that gives you an idea of what Gene Rayburn
You're
would look like.
gilding the lily, Eddie. You're gilding the lily.
Eddie, for you, we're going to flip all the cards since we only had one no answer. You've won $50, and thank you for being with us on What's My Line? Okay, so will our mystery challenger come in and sign in, please? Panel, as you know, with our mystery challenger, we play What's My Line just a little bit differently. It's one question at a time. I'm going to give you 3 minutes to establish the identity of our mystery guest, and we'll start the questioning with Gene Rayburn.
Sir or madam, whichever the case may be, are you wearing a beard?
Yes.
I still don't know whether it's sir or
Arlene?
madam.
Is it your own or was it pasted on?
Smile.
Yes or no?
Oh, is it your own beard?
Yes.
Soupy.
Are you, do you have a television show of your own?
No.
Meredith.
Are you known primarily for your roles in motion pictures?
No.
Gene Rayburn.
Are you an author?
Yes.
Among other fields of endeavor, yes.
Are you also a musician?
Not particularly.
What?
But he has done some things related with the
Not especially.
musical field, but not particularly. I don't think he would be classified as such as a musician. Soupy?
He's a writer, and are you also an actor?
Yes.
Yes.
Meredith?
Have you ever appeared on the Broadway stage?
No.
No.
No?
No.
Oh, that throws me off the track. I thought I had him nailed here. I was... Uh-huh. You very inscrutable, you Chinese. Are you inscrutable?
Oh, yes, very squirrel.
Arlene, that was his question.
Oh. Have you done any records?
Yes.
Soupy.
Do you currently have a record that's a bestseller?
No.
No?
No. Meredith McRae.
Did you ever have a partner in show business?
No.
Less than a minute, Gene.
Well, this is really something. In addition to a beard, we've established that you do have a beard. Do you have a mustache?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, now that ought to be.
Arlene?
I've given you that already.
Yes, that was a big help. The last time I saw you, if you're the gentleman I think you are, were you not smooth shaven?
Yes.
Did you write hello, mudder, hello, father?
Yes.
Yes.
Are you Al Sherman?
Yes. Arlene, you ruined a beautiful gag.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You asked him if his beard was real or
Yes.
false, and now at this point I'm supposed to say, okay, everyone, let's take off our beards and mustaches.
It's funny, there's a girl.
And at this point, of course, Alan couldn't do it.
No.
It is real.
Oh,
Yeah,
it is
and-
real, because I'd never seen it before.
Doris Hibbert, who works on the show, who I've known all these years, was trying to pull it off before in the dressing room. Murdered.
This is sort of old home week for you, being back
It
with
is
Goodson
indeed.
Todd. Yeah, the producer of I've Got a Secret for many years, and many other kudos to your credit. What are you doing now, Alan?
We're starting to cast a musical comedy that I wrote, As a matter of fact, it ought to show up sometime this fall on Broadway.
Oh, that's marvelous.
What's the newest record, Al?
I haven't made a record in a year. It was called Togetherness.
Oh, yeah.
I heard a funny story about you. When you were living in California, you didn't know whether you or your maid should file for unemployment compensation.
Yeah, well, I was producing the Steve Allen Show, and I lost my job, and unemployment there is $55 a week, and it was a case of either I collect it and she cleans the house, or I let her go and she collects the $55 and I clean the house.
Alan, you're a lot of fun to have had you with us on What's My Line. Thanks so much for being
Thank
here,
you.
and say hello to your friend. You know, it isn't unusual at all for us to have celebrities on What's My Line. But let me tell you, we have a super celebrity in Arlene Francis, because you've just been, is it elected, nominated, or placed in the Hall of Fame? Arlene, what is this?
When you just say the Hall of Fame, I think everybody thinks it's Cooperstown and I should be wearing a baseball uniform. But it's the United States Hall of Fame in Washington. And I have just been elected to it, which is a very nice honor indeed.
Oh, sure is. But you were also telling me something else of which you are very proud, and that's your son, Peter.
Well, I think any family that sees their child through college is proud.
And a Phi Beta Kappa.
Yes, he's a Phi Beta Kappa, too, I must say. And but apart from all of that, he's a decent, marvelous young man, so I am very proud and pleased about him.
You're very lucky. Thank you.
I am lucky, yes.
Panel, we had a good time today playing What's My Line. You got 2 out of 3, which isn't bad, and that's good enough to qualify all of you for another session tomorrow. So, goodbye, everyone, and we'll see you again every weekday on What's My Line.
What's My Line is a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production. Johnny Olson speaking.